So how do I end this? Welcome to another day of me not being camera shy and also trying to get rid of filler words. Now stay with me because you have no choice. You watch it, now you're here. So today I'm going to seize this opportunity to talk about what I do. Remember in the last video we talked about being an administrative assistant, and being an administrative assistant means that you could apply this skill in any industry. One of the industry that I have dominated is the real estate market, the United States real estate market to be precise. Now, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek as to what I do as a property manager. There are 3 property types that you need to be aware of. Now, we have the single family home, we have the condo, and we have the multi-family home. Now, you want to make sure that when you get a client, you verify this information and know exactly how they are being managed. Every of these properties, they are being managed differently. So you want to make sure that you find out about it. That's how to, you get the gist. Okay, now, so what's a single family home? Like the name implies, it's just a one building, a bungalow that has various rooms and suited in the building, one lease, one tenant, probably multiple occupants, but it's just one lease, just as the name implies, single. And then we also have the condo. Now for the condo, it has like multiple layers, right? They are HOA rules, they are shared amenities, there are just a lot of things that goes on with it, and that's for a condo. And then for a multiple family home, that goes a notch higher. So that's like a large building as well, just like a condo, but differently, that has various units. They have multiple tenants that have multiple leases. So you want to take note of that. Now you get the gist. You understand the types of property. So now that's the first thing you want to ask a landlord or an agent when they have required you to work with them as a property manager remotely. All right. With knowing how this property works, you want to be able to list them in their respective platforms. For multiple family and also for a single family, you can either use for long term, short term, or mid term. Now, every of this list term has respective platforms that you can use, and today we're going to be looking at that of the long term. Now, for long term, platforms that I prefer is Zillow, apartment.com. There are a bunch of other platforms, but my favorite is going to be Zillow. Now, if your client or your landlord or your agent has money to go ahead and, purchase the premium, please go ahead. It gives you lots of leads and the applications are faster. I can guarantee you that for sure. But if they don't, go ahead and just do with what you have. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to make sure that when you're marketing this platform online, the descriptions are well detailed. You want to make sure that the pictures are clear. You want to make sure that the videos are clear. You want to make sure that it has a floor plan that people can look at and understand. And if your landlord doesn't have a floor plan documented, that's fine. It's okay. You can just go ahead and use the pictures, the videos, and a good description. And make sure you list all the amenities. You want to put all this information into your marketing. So once you're done with all of that, you want to go ahead and publish. Now, once you publish, if you're using premium or not, you begin to get messages, you begin to get inquiries. In fact, you begin to get people who will just directly send in an application. Now, this is what you need to do. You want to make sure that, you properly screen all this application. Now, your clients may decide that they want to do the screening themselves. And here is how you need to be proactive as an administrative assistant. Make sure you go ahead and get the information of everything that they need for that screening. So here's what I would do if I was to do the screening myself, or if I was to send the information to the landlord or the agent. I want to make sure that I have a valid ID card. I want to make sure that I have your pay stub, that's your pay slip that shows the place that you work and the amount that you earn. I also want to make sure that I get your previous, like where you reside currently. I want to make sure that I get the rent statement that you've made. I also want to make sure that if for some reason I need to verify 1 or 2 things, I can also request for a reference, right? Or a co-signer, someone who could co-sign for you, right? So now we're not talking about Section 8 tenants. We're talking about tenants who want to pay straight out of pocket. So you want to be able to check these informations, get them together, compile them, and send them to the landlord, or do the screening yourself. Now, if you're to do the screening yourself, call the job. Call and verify that that's where they work. Call and verify that that's the manager. Call and verify that they don't have an issue with where they are currently living, and probably maybe they have like back payments, you want to make sure that the amount of money that they are earning is at least times 2 or times 3 of what the rent is. Now, the reason why you are taking a tenant that earns times 2 or times 3 of the rent, it gives you a guarantee that once they get paid, you get your money. Say, for instance, the rent is $1,000 per month, and in a month, in an entire month, the tenant's income is less than 1,000. You would know that they will owe you. Unless it's Section 8, you will know that they are definitely going to owe rent, and you don't want that. So you want to put all of this into consideration, be very proactive, and you most likely might just be the best administrative assistant that your landlord has. Now, this is my trick, and this is what I do. And yeah, don't forget, I'm also trying to get rid of this filler word thing, but at the same time also sharing what I do, and I hope it reaches out to someone. I hope it encourages someone. I hope it even meets someone who is in that line, but they are trying to break through. Now, yeah. So how do I end this? Well, anyway, toodaloo, bye.